Okay, so this is the first of what I assume will be quite a few videos that I'll put together for just hints and tips and bits and pieces to help you along your way. Now, I'm assuming most of you are used to the Windows world, and as you probably know, we're using Macs for the film and TV course. So I want to try and just give you a few little video clips that you can refer back to that will give you some ideas on how to do different bits and pieces. Now, if you've got your own Mac laptop or you're looking at getting one for home or whatever, this should help. And also it should help just setting up your Mac at school the way that you want it to work the way you want it to work. Alright, so here we have the desktop. What I'm going to do in this video is do a very quick look through system preferences. That gives you a basic overview of how to set things up the way you want them. Okay, so the Apple menu, little Apple up here. This is where you can restart, shut down, put your machine to sleep, all that kind of stuff. You also have your system preferences. So there it is, system prefs. Now, appearance, you can change the way things look, how windows look and things like that. So that's up to you. Desktop and screensaver, same sort of thing. Make things pretty. You can take your photo albums, which are all in iPhoto. We're going to talk about the iLife suite in the video coming up soon. The desktop, picture, screensaver, however you want it. Doesn't really matter. Computer name, whatever, doesn't really matter. Okay, the dock. Now, this here is the dock. I have icons for all the applications I use quite regularly. In fact, I probably use all these applications at least a few times a week. Now, you can put applications in the dock very simply. If you come up to your Macintosh hard drive, click on applications, any of the applications in here, which will come up, there they are. If I want to put chess in there, just drag it over. Put the chess, oops, didn't do it properly. Just drag it over into an empty space. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. How about I just open chess? Most applications you can just drag into the dock. Otherwise, when you open it, it will sit in the dock here. Why I chose chess, I don't know. Anyway. And let's say I want to keep that in the dock permanently. I just press Control, which is the second button on the left. Now, there he is, there's chess. Press the Control button and click Keep in Dock. Now, that's an interesting one for most people that use 2-button mouses. For me, when I'm not on a laptop, I use a 2-button mouse. It's just the way it is. I like 2-button mouse. Right click, left click, works for me. However, if you're on a laptop, you've only got 1 button. So you press Control and click, and that will give you the equivalent of left click. Right click, sorry. The equivalent of right click. And I want to keep this in dock, I'll say keep in dock. And let's get rid of chess. Quit. Okay. I don't want that in the dock anymore, so I'm going to drag that out and get rid of it. Okay. Back to the dock. So magnification, it just magnifies it a little bit. If I wanted it to magnify more, there we go. I don't like it too much. I like it about there. Okay. And I might, actually I like my icons about that. Okay. Now, position on the screen. I have mine on the left. When you boot up a new machine, it will always be on the bottom. There's the dock on the bottom. I don't like it on the bottom because I use the Pro apps a lot and I need to get access to a lot of things that are at the bottom of the screen. I want all the screen space I can get. I throw it on the left. Okay. You can put it wherever you want, doesn't matter. When you start using Pro apps, you'll probably see that it is better over here. Or you can throw it on the right. I just throw mine on the left. That's what I'm used to. You can automatically hide it, so when you bring it, it comes back. I leave it like that. That just depends what I'm doing. Alright, let's go back. So that's the dock. Expose and spaces. Okay, expose. Now, expose does a very cool thing. Let's say, for example, we have a whole heap of windows open. Let's open a whole heap. Okay. Throw Skype open there and the system prefs. Alright, now, in Windows, you may have done the Alt-Tab to try and find things. Now, Alt-Tab is also existent in Mac, except you press Command-Tab. Now, the Command key is the one that's got a picture of an apple symbol on it, or like the 4-leaf clover kind of vibe thing going on. The square with 4 little circles around the corner. I don't know how you explain it. I'll try and throw a picture of it up. You can do that. So that's the same as Alt Tab. But I don't like that. I really don't. I just find that very archaic. I find it very Windows-like. Ew. Don't like Windows. Okay. So, expose. You can press F9. If you're on a desktop, it's probably just F9. Or if you're on a laptop, function F9. There it is. See how it just scatters all my windows? I get to see exactly what I've got on my screen. Ah, that's right. I wanted to go to my email. There it is. That's function F9. Back to system prefs. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to set up a way where I can do it without pressing shortcuts. I don't like having to go function F9 or F9 all the time. So what we have here is what's called hot corners. Now these hot corners you can set up to automatically do a function when you move your mouse to that corner of the screen. So for example, here, when I move my mouse to this corner of the screen, it does expose for me, tiles on my windows for me. Okay. If I press function F11, gets rid of everything. Okay. Spaces. Spaces is a new feature that's just come out in the latest OS. Now Spaces is basically a way that you can have multiple desktops all working at once. So I've got 4 desktops here. I think you can have up to 16 or something crazy if you're really into that. Now the advantage of this is that I can have one desktop that's got all my email applications, email and stuff, another desktop that's got all my chat going on, another desktop that's got maybe an assignment going on, and another desktop that's got a game going on, whatever, okay? Now with Spaces, all you do is function F8 because I'm on a laptop, or F8 if you're on a desktop, and it brings back all your 3 different desktops, which is very cool. So now I can go into this desktop, I've got a fresh desktop, maybe on this desktop I'm doing something like this. I'm going to function F8 back, and I can go back to my desktop here. Now, same as back here with my hot corners, my active screen corners, I've set one up for Spaces. So this corner is Spaces. There it is. Okay. That's a very cool little feature, and I recommend you play around with that and see how you can use it. Alright. We're not going to worry about any of these. Oh, security. Whatever you do, do not ever try and set a password in the firewall. Because if you forget it, it is impossible. I have no idea how. No one I know knows how to do it. Get your information back. Never, ever set a password on firewall. Just don't bother. Okay. Or your hardware settings. If you plug external speakers in, it'll automatically detect them, but you can play with all your settings in there and all that rubbish. Blah, blah,